Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited to show you the new Arcade1Up cabinet, Star Wars. Now, this thing is absolutely fantastic. Comes with 3 of the original trilogy games from Atari, a light-up marquee, and a custom riser. So sit back and relax. I have so much more to tell you about, and let's talk about Star Wars. Alright guys, one of the first things you'll probably notice is the beautiful sound effects, the beautiful new in-game selection screen. We got settings now. At the very bottom you can change different settings for the game. We'll get into that later. Look at this beautiful transition as you start the game. A lot of enhancements that we're going to be talking about from Arcade1Up. So about this game, what you're seeing is footage of my daughter playing it. She played it for a few hours yesterday after we built it. Then today I was like, hey, you want to do all the gameplay for my YouTube video? And she's like, absolutely. So yeah, she's training to be a Jedi here, and she's better than me at this game already. You're probably wondering how does the yoke feel when you're, steering and controlling it. I have to say it feels great. It doesn't feel cheap. It feels like well made. It have a lot of granularity. You can move in any direction, up, down, back and forth. There's when you're on the main screen, I try to do a thing where I'm just circling the entire side of the screen. Kind of imagine you're doing like an Etch-a-Sketch and you're just drawing squares, and then coming in a little bit more. Like I have full control. I can go to any part of the screen, and it seems like it's calibrated really well because when I go to the far edge of the screen in any direction, there's only just a little bit more that you could go. So it's almost like the full amount of swing in all directions covers the entirety of the screen. And there's only just a tiny bit extra give, and that seems to be calibrated well. I'm not an expert in this area. I don't recall playing the original game. I'm not a professional at calibrating a yoke in an arcade, so I can't say for certainty that it is amazing, but I think it's awesome. I've really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed playing it with my kid. We have a family party towards the end of the month, and it's going to be a huge hit. We might be playing this all night. We're big Star Wars fans, as you've probably seen in my previous videos, but this cabinet is absolutely awesome. I don't feel a need where I need to upgrade the yoke in any way. So 2 thumbs up when it comes to that.
Use the force, Luke.
All right, so check this out. We're going to go into Star Wars settings. Take a look at all the features that they have in here. So you can change the starting shields. You just use the flight yoke to point to whichever setting, and you press the button to change it, and it just toggles through the list. You can change the difficulty. You can change the amount of bonus shields. You can turn on and off the music in the attract mode. You can change the brightness of the vector glow. We're going to crank this to bold. You can reset your high score. That's right. These games save your high score. It's great. We've already put them in, and we're kind of beating for first place. It's great. So this is some gameplay of with the vectors turned up to bold. We'll show that for a little bit so you can get an idea of what that looks like. You can play around with the different settings. I haven't tried all of them, but it's really, really cool that they added this feature into the cabinet. And Return of the Jedi has something really, really cool, so stay tuned for that, and we'll take a look at that. But for now, we're going to go into the gameplay of Empire Strikes Back. Again, check out the transition. Fantastic.
He could destroy us. May the force be with you. There's a meeting meteorite hit the ground near you.
Empire Strikes Back is very similar to the Star Wars game, but of course it's based on Empire Strikes Back. But the cool feature right away at the beginning is you have those, what are they called, the grappling hooks, and you got to swing them. It's a lot of fun. It's different, and it has some different parts to the game, different strategies of how to beat the game. This part is so fun, so fun. So we got pretty good at being able to take down the AT-ATs or the AT-AT. I'm not sure which one you prefer. But again, fantastic gameplay. The yoke feels great. So we'll go ahead and jump right into Empire Strikes Back settings here. So go ahead and take a look at all the options that we have here. You got your starting shields, you got the play difficulty, the Jedi letter mode, you can change those settings. Again, you got the vector glow and the music and attract. So fantastic things that they keep on adding to the Arcade1Up cabinets. And now let's take a look at Empire Strikes Back with the vector enhanced glow.
He could destroy us. May the force be with you. There's a meteorite hit the ground near you. Sure, it's outside.
So now let's go ahead and take a look at Return of the Jedi. So this is not a vector graphics game, but just kind of like a more standard game.
The security deflector shield will be deactivated when we have confirmation of your code transmission. Leave them to me. I will deal with them myself. Go for help. I see them. Wait for me.
So you can see this is with scan lines turned on, which are turned on by default. And so you can kind of see in the game, you'll see what I've been calling like a little bit of burn-in. It's about in the middle of the screen. It's from the scan lines. And so when I first started playing, I was like, what is that, you know? And I think it's cool that they added the scanline feature. Kind of shows that we may see this in the future with different arcade cabinets. And I think that's awesome. This game specifically, I ended up turning the scan lines off, and I'm going to keep them off because I think I'll enjoy this game without any scan lines. It might be different if this was like Marvel or Street Fighter or something, Mortal Kombat. Maybe I would have the scan lines on. So we'll go into the settings and turn that off, and I'll show you some footage again of without scan lines in just a moment. But this game is a lot of fun. We've gotten to a couple different levels on this one. It's really hard. It's kind of hard to get good at it, but I think it's a lot of fun because, you know, at the original arcades, you'd just be, you know, spending tons and tons of quarters on trying to get to just say like the second level or third level of this game. But with owning it, having it in your house, the likelihood of you beating the game is really, really high, right? And so with the 3 different games, you get a lot of variety of gameplay. So if you're a big fan of Empire Strikes Back, although Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back are very similar games, the strategies and the actual game itself is slightly different, right? Because the stories are different. And then Return of the Jedi is a completely different game, right? You got color. This scene, just fantastic, where you're Millennium Falcon and you're going to destroy the Death Star. It's really hard, but you can get the hang of it. You got to watch really close. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Zaxxon, just a little bit. Kind of like the angle and how you're trying to dodge things. A lot of fun. Love this level. All right, so now we're going to go into the settings of Return of the Jedi, and we can check this out. You see how we can have the starting lives, a bonus life at every so many points. You can change the difficulty level. You can change the scan lines, turn them on or turn them off. We'll go ahead and turn them off and play with that. Of course, you can reset the score, the high score, if you want to clear those. And here we'll play a little bit of Return of the Jedi and let you see what it looks like without any scan lines on.
The security deflector shield will be deactivated when we have confirmation of your code transmission. Leave them to me. I will deal with them myself. Go for help. I see it.
There you go.
Wait for me.
So no scan lines, and now it just looks like a crisp screen without any of the little burn-in artifacts. For this game, that's what I'm gonna go with. It's really cool they give us the option of turning it on and off. So if your preferences are different, you want to keep those on, you can. And probably when friends come over, I'll turn it on to show them, and maybe some will be like, "Oh, this is really cool. Leave it this way," and they can play that way, and that'll be really cool. All right, before we wrap up here, I know a lot of people were concerned about the packaging, so let me go ahead and show you what the packaging looks like. So the entire size of the box is 4 feet by 2 feet by 1 foot. So if you got to fit that in your back of your car like you're going to pick it up at GameStop or Walmart, those are the dimensions. Again, just like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cabinet, they have these empty boxes in here. Here is the yoke, the control deck. You can see they have special styrofoam. There's actually a couple places where they're using styrofoam now to really secure the boards. This is the extra J bracket. It's an additional step that's unlike other cabinets. It's what holds the control deck, that yoke, in place. Right there, the J. It's a little different. It's not too hard to assemble. No big deal. Nothing more difficult than any of the other cabinets for assembling. The artwork on it, it's just fantastic, as you've probably seen pictures of. When you see it in person, it's a little bit shinier. The light marquee and the speakers, the way they configured it was really, really good. It's a little bit difficult to get those set up, but not too hard, just slightly more difficult than normal. But yeah, here's the artwork, close up. Just looks beautiful. It really stands out among all the other cabinets that I have, and I even have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this one just really glows in the room. It's a very attractive and just very, very unique. The light up marquee I think is great. Just kind of the way it's configured and positioned makes it look really, really nice. So here is where I was talking about, where I'm going to the corners and really checking to see the granularity of the yoke. And yeah, it's a great cabinet. And finally, one of my favorite features of all the new cabinets, including Star Wars, Marvel, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, is the new volume control. And here's how it works. You just move it left or right, and it adjusts the volume. It's great.
Okay, guys, so now it's your turn. Tell me what you think about this cabinet down in the comments. Are you going to be picking this up? Is this something that you have coming on the way? What do you think of the Star Wars cabinet? Are you impressed with the new designs, the new... even the packaging is better. Did you get yours in good condition? What do you think about the kick plate, having graphics, the custom riser, the light up marquee? Is it to your liking? Is it worth $500? What about the emulator? They've enhanced the settings, even the segue where you're going from the game selection screen into the game, that little transition where you're going at the speed of light. It's a fantastic addition to the cabinet. Going into the settings, being able to add scan lines to Return of the Jedi, adjusting the vector settings, all the high scores are saving. This is a great improvement, and I just kind of wish that this is what Arcade1Up came out with in the beginning, but hey, that's how it works with companies when they make a new design. If they have a hit, they're going to continue to improve, and I've been grateful to be along the way picking up all these cabinets, paying for them, some getting good deals, and some paying full price. So if this is the first time you've seen a video from me, please do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next video.